What up, what up? You're watching Too Cold Scorpio on AML, America's Most Like Wrestling. And if you ain't with it, you better get with the program. Some of the best wrestling in the world, live. Check it out, and I'm gone.
Tim Blaze with AML Wrestling Live, and this week the main event's going to be great. It's a rematch from last time at AML. King Shane Williams takes on Greek God Papadon for the AML title. Last time, King Shane, you were right here at AML. Wardell Walker got the interference. He's no longer in the picture. He's been fired from AML. Tonight, your rematch one-on-one with the Greek God Papadon. What's your thoughts?
My thoughts. My wife, my queen, got taped up and got to watch her man, her king, get hit repeatedly with a steel chair and then get pile drived on that chair after a 30-minute match with Papadon. Now, I've been beaten up. And I've been beaten up by some of the greatest. I've been beaten up by Tracy Smothers. I've been beaten up by Ricky Morton. I've even been beaten up by the great Jerry Lawler. So Papadon, no Wardell Walker. This time it's going to be me, and it's going to be you. But I have a prediction for the outcome. The outcome is going to be me pile driving you. Why? Because we will rule you.
Welcome back to AML Wrestling Live, and our main event is coming up next. Let's bring in the AML champion, Greek God Papadon, as you defend in a rematch tonight against King Shane Williams.
You got it right this time. Greek God, you didn't mess it up. I'm glad you learned from your mistakes. So, I got a rematch. Everyone knows. It's on the website. It's all over the internet. Everyone in the wrestling world is talking about the rematch. King Shane versus Greek God Papadon. What do you want from me?
Well, I'd like to know, it didn't go so smooth the last time.
For Shane, of course. I'm still champ.
Well, again, you're champ.
So what's your point?
Interference. There's not going to be any interference.
Interference? What interference are you talking about?
Wardell Walker is fired from AML. So
what does Wardell have to do with me?
He interfered in the match.
That was not. Look, are you cruising for a bruising? You want me to smack the taste out your mouth again? Huh? Do me a favor. Get the hell out of here. Get out of here before I knock you silly old man. And take your ARP. Get out of here! Shane, look in my eyes and listen to me very, very carefully. You go behind my back. You go to the AML Championship Committee and you cry for your rematch. Woo-hoo! It wasn't fair! Life isn't fair. And if you don't believe me, look in the mirror. I am the greatest AML champion ever. Tonight, I'm going to prove to you and the world one more time that a king is no match for a god.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for one of the most highly anticipated rematches in the short history of America's Most Liked Wrestling. As you see, the current reigning and defending AML champion making his way towards the ring area, the Greek god Papadon. And he will defend that championship against the #1 contender, King Shane Williams. And if you go back to the early part of 2016, the 1-year anniversary show of America's Most Like Wrestling, these two hooked it up, and Shane Williams, right as it looked like he was going to upend Papadon and claim that heavyweight championship, Vordell Walker interfered, the bitter rival of King Shane Williams. And that derailed King Shane's opportunity. He gets his rematch here tonight. And let's send it to Tim Blaze for the introductions of our heavyweight title matchup. As it appears, Papadon has a few words for the fans in High Point. He's certainly one of the least popular competitors in all of America's Most Like Wrestling. And once again, disrupting ring announcer Tim Blaze. These two ready to get down to business here.
Introducing first, to the corner to my right, from Knoxville, Tennessee, he's the challenger. Now residing in Charlotte, North Carolina. Weighing in 215 pounds and accompanied to my ring by Queen Taylor. He is the #1 contender for the AML Wrestling Championship. This is King Shane Williams!
And you see the challenger, certainly a fan favorite here at the Southside Rec Center.
And his opponent, from Columbia,
And Papadon, once again, not only toying with the fans, but trying to get in the head of King Shane.
shut your mouth. From Meridian, Greece, weighing in at 231 pounds, he is the greatest AML wrestling champion ever. And is the current reigning AML wrestling champion, the Greek god Demetrius Papadon.
And he finally gets the introduction that he was looking for, and Papadon now holding on to that championship for the better part of a few months, winning it back in late November at WrestleCade Weekend 2015, taking out former champion, the first ever AML champion, Caprice Coleman, and TNA Wrestling's Ethan Carter III in a one-fall triple threat matchup. Papadon shocking the world, arguably the biggest upset win and surprise of the entire weekend, as we saw over 30 matches go down at the Benton Convention Center. And the one everybody was talking about was Papadon winning the AML Championship, as Jeff Bunton trying to get that belt from around his waist. And Papadon trying to stall here, as you have to think, in Papadon's mind, this very well could be the end of the line. And now, what is Papadon doing here? He walks out of the ring and he's going right back to the locker room. Certainly if King Shane wins this one by countout, though he would get the victory, the title would still stay with Papadon. And King Shane, on the makeshift chaise lounge, looks like he's going to be here a while, and he's just waiting for the champion to come on back out. And there's Papadon. He's standing by the entranceway, continuing to play mind games with the challenger. And after hooking it up one other time in recent weeks, you have to think that maybe Papadon is not as confident as he once was, that he could take out King Shane right here at the Southside Rec Center. As Papadon having an exchange right now with Jeff Bunton, as Shane Williams sitting in the front row with some of the great fans here of America's Most Liked Wrestling. As everyone in attendance is ready to see these two finally hook it up again. As the crowd for the better part of 6 months has been clamoring for King Shane to get his hands around the championship. But Vordo Walker had some other designs as he derailed King Shane's plans. And you saw Walker and Williams in that best-of-5 series to crown the #1 contender. Williams was down 2-1. And he came roaring back with a big 3-2 victory, and that's how we got here. And finally, Papadon gonna hand over that championship to Jeff Bunton. And this matchup will be getting underway. 1 hour time limit set here for the AML Championship, the richest prize in the Mid-Atlantic region, as Papadon continuing to have an exchange with Jeff Bunton. What could this possibly be about? As he's demanding that championship stays in his corner. And that certainly could be a temporary thing if Papadon can't get the 1-2-3 here this evening. As bell sounds, we're finally underway. AML Championship rematch, King Shane Williams, the #1 contender, getting another shot against the Greek god Papadon. And just like that, Papadon goes to have a seat in the front row. As these fans in attendance, certainly almost 100% backing the King. Rarely do we see this much of a divide between how much the fans support one or the other. As you normally see a little bit of a 50-50 split, or at least a 60-40 kind of deal. But King Shane, about 100% support right here. As Papadon again goes scurrying to the outside. As these two men have been out here nearly 10 minutes now and have yet to lock up. As Papadon is irate, stalking around the ringside area. This sold-out crowd here in High Point giving him the business. And King Shane Williams taunting with the entire crowd in tow. That could be enough to get Papadon finally in the ring. As Jeff Bunton did call for the bell, so he is administering that count. And if you are Papadon, it would not be the worst thing in the world to get counted out here. Though you would get the loss in the column, you would leave the Southside Rec Center still the AML champion. As he continues to stall here. And Papadon, somewhere in the back of his mind, has to be thinking, if he could somehow get by King Shane Williams, the list is ever so long here at America's Most Liked Wrestling. Oh, King Shane, he grabs the championship belt, and Papadon, like a house of fire, gets back in the ring. That's one way to get him back in there. As King Shane trying to model what could be his new championship. And he's going to put it back in the corner, and it looks like these two finally will hook it up. And as I was saying, the likes of Caprice Coleman, Cedric Alexander, Zane Dawson, Caleb Conley, Steve Anthony, the list goes on and on. of top contenders here in the Mid-Atlantic looking to get their hands on that AML championship. Also, the likes of Damian Wayne, can't forget about him. He was a huge piece in year one of America's Most Liked Wrestling. As Papadon and King Shane now getting in a little bit of a shoving match here. Oh, and Papadon spits at him right between the eyes, showing no respect for the challenger. And that's going to allow the champion to take advantage in the early going. As Jeff Bunton administering the rules there to Papadon. And listen to that knife edge chop ring throughout the Southside Rec Center. As Papadon here in High Point, North Carolina, looking to take his career to a high point. If he could take out King Shane and continue to sit atop the mountain of America's Most Liked Wrestling. And the methodical offense working early on from the Greek god. Irish whip into the opposite buckle, reverse there by King Shane. He's going to charge in and nails him with a clothesline. King Shane, he's going to try the opposite buckle. And one more time. Can the third time be a charm? Here comes the Irish whip. Pulls him right in with another clothesline. And the Bulldog coming out of the corner. As King Shane's starting to pick up the pace a little bit here. Papadon rocking and reeling. Back up to a vertical base. Oh, and that's what we call a receipt. As King Shane returns the favor, spitting at him right between the eyes of his own. And he's going to snap off the Hurricane Rana. Look at that athleticism by the King. Thought he might have been going for a drop kick, but goes deep in his playbook with the Hurricane Rana. And Papadon goes all the way to the floor. King Shane's pointing to the outside, trying to build some momentum. King Shane Williams does not normally take to the air. He's going to hit the ropes. Oh! And Queen Taylor is pulled right in front of Papadon. Heads up move by the champion. Oh! No! Let go of her! He's got Queen Taylor by the hair. She goes for the slap. But he's overpowering her here on the outside. But there's King Shane as he comes to save his queen. And that right hand is going to send Papadon staggering. And King Shane Williams is certainly going to pick up the pace right here. He's on the outside of the ring. And King Shane starting to lay into the Greek god. And these two on the outside. Papadon clears out the front couple of rows. And it looked like he was going to throw him into the seats. And instead, he's going to send King Shane back in. But the King comes riding right back out. And here we go. Shane Williams and Papadon tearing into each other on the outside of the ring. Jeff Bunton has been pretty lenient with that count, as Williams is going to drive him back first, right into the ring apron. But again, King Shane cannot win that championship on the outside. Any disqualification or count-out victory will keep the championship in the camp of Papadon. Papadon charges it. And the drop toe hold as Papadon goes face first right on the chair. And Papadon might have been knocked into next week as King Shane brings him back into the ring. Papadon trying to crawl to safety. But inside the friendly confines of the squared circle, you're now in King Shane's kingdom. And he's throwing those lefts and a little flip, flop, and fly with a right hand right between the eyes. And Papadon goes to the outside once again. And King Shane off the ropes. King Shane goes for the baseball slide. Heads up move there by Papadon. to tie him up in between the ring and the ring skirt, as the apron keeps King Shane trapped and has now opened the door for Papadon to turn him inside out with that short arm clothesline. As this AML Championship match has been very physical, as we are nearing the 15-minute mark in this big rematch. And oh, you see there Papadon continuing to mock King Shane, as these two beating each other from pillar to post on the outside of the ring. Papadon briefly rolls in to break up the count, but that brief hesitation allows King Shane to try to take back over with some knife edge chops, as this one stays in a back and forth affair. Papadon trying to do anything he can to hold on to that AML Championship. Gonna send him for a ride. And King Shane, the momentum takes him to the apron. And he's gonna drop Papadon throat first right across that top rope. That steel cable creating some friction on the throat area of Papadon. Off the top goes Shane. High cross body, 1, 2. And a near fall for Shane Williams. And that savant kick by Papadon is going to ground King Shane once again. And look at Papadon getting right up in the face of King Shane Williams. And this vicious attitude of the Greek god starting to really come out right here. Papadon does have 5 seconds to break, and he will. But again, even if he gets disqualified, that championship will stay around his waist for the time being. As Papadon brings Shane back in the ring. And that snap suplex, 1, 2. And he's only going to get a near fall. As Williams backs himself into the corner. But Papadon peppers him with some body shots. As Jeff Bunton trying to get these two out of the corner. And Papadon chokes away. But again, he breaks in enough time. He's got Williams in the buckle. Irish whip to the opposite end. And Papadon remains in control. He's going to take him out of the corner. Belly to back suplex. Dumps King Shane right on the back of his neck. Goes over, hooks the outside leg. 1, 2. And another near fall for the Greek god. You have to wonder, when will Papadon go for the victory? As King Shane trying to get back in this match, perked up there on that second turnbuckle, and the axe handle is going to take out the champion. He hesitated, 1, 2, hooks the inside leg, but that slight hesitation might have just cost King Shane the AML Championship. Off the ropes, and the elbow of Papadon is going to ground the king once again. 1, 2. And a near fall. And Papadon goes right back to that chin lock and tries to wear down King Shane Williams. As Papadon really burst onto the scene in the Mid-Atlantic region a couple of years ago when competing at WrestleCade. And you did see him in one of his first matches as AML champion take on Mysterious Q on the pre-show of this year's WrestleCade. And you gotta think he's gonna want to get back to the Benton Convention Center Thanksgiving weekend 2016. And you have to also believe King Shane will want to join him. Certainly further details to come. Check out WrestleCade.com. And certainly WrestleCade on Facebook, as well as AMLWrestling.com and AML Wrestling on Facebook. For all of the latest information on WrestleCade 5, it's going to be the 5th year and certainly should be the biggest event yet. King Shane rolls him over 1-2, utilizes that momentum, but it's shifted back over by the Greek god Papadon, who turns it now into a front chancery. Jeff Button checking in to make sure that bottom hand is not underneath the throat of King Shane, and it's not a choke, as that inverted atomic drop is going to create a little bit of an opening now, as King Shane still trying to recover. And now Papadon has been set back a little bit. His post-show fun might be out the window right now, as King Shane charges in, nobody home. And folks, I do believe King Shane's left shoulder made contact with that steel ring post. And that certainly could do some bruising or even worse damage on that AC joint or rotator cuff. And if he's going to try to get up and pick up Papadon for that pile driver, that could certainly be a hindrance right there. It's Papadon trying to take advantage here, and you'll wonder if he's going to try to exploit that shoulder at all. As the Greek god definitely looks in control right now, starting to light up King Shane with some kicks. Don't know much of a martial arts background for the Greek god, but nonetheless, and King Shane, he's hanging tough, and he's trying to fire back here. He senses the AML Championship could be slipping out of his grasp. And he wants to stay alive here, as he is the #1 contender. And look at King Shane with rights and lefts. He's firing back. There is certainly no quit in King Shane Williams. Ducks underneath the clothesline, off the ropes, and the double sledge. One more time. And King Shane, there's a spinning back elbow. And Williams going for the DDT. No, excuse me, it's going to be a suplex. And it's nearly of the brainbuster variety. Certainly got a lot of that one. As Papadon, in a precarious situation, there's the Irish whip to the opposite buckle, but Papadon can't stay on his feet, and he's going to eat the boot of King Shane. Down goes the champion. Can King Shane capitalize here as he looks out into the sea of fans here at the Southside Rec Center, all in support of him? And he's going to go up. There's no strap coming down, but it's going to be that vintage fist drop right between the eyes. Here we go. 1, 2, and Papadon kicks out at 2.5. King Shane nearly had it, but Papadon was able to kick out. We are over the 20-minute mark here, as these two are leaving it all in the ring for the right to walk out of here the AML champion. Williams kicks him in the gut. He's in position. He's got him. Oh, and Papadon goes for the back body drop. Sunset flip. 1, 2, 2.5. Oh, I thought that was it. Jeff Button's hand nearly hit the mat for a third time, but King Shane won't quite win it just yet. And Papadon, he's on that middle rope. That diving back elbow. 1, 2, and a 2.5 for him. And Papadon looks like he just saw a ghost, as the frustration has to start setting in right now. As what else do both of these men have left in the tank? The gaslight is certainly on at this juncture. Both men nearly running on E here. And Papadon trying to figure out what's next, as he's just kicking away at the back of King Shane Williams. Goes for the roundhouse kick. King Shane back up to his feet. He's going to block it. Well scouted by the challenger. But he's going to eat yet another savate kick. Fireman's carry position. Papadon's got him. And he drops him right on his knee. Modified TKO right there by Papadon. Off the ropes. And King Shane. There's a leg lariat. King Shane. 1, 2, and 2 7/8. Jeff Button's hand was literally about to smack the mat for a third time. And Papadon was able to get that shoulder up. As Williams has to be thinking pile driver time. Because I'm not so sure what else he has left in his arsenal to try to take out Papadon. Heads up move there by Papadon to sling him to the outside. Now King Shane on the ring apron. And Papadon tries to meet him there at the rope. King Shane throws the shoulder right in the midsection. Flips from the outside in. Williams walks right into a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. This could do it. 1, 2, and another 2.5. As Papadon, he's in utter shock that was not enough to defeat King Shane Williams. Shane, a little dazed at this juncture. Papadon has him in the corner. And the next time he connects on a high-impact move, it very well could be the end of King Shane. Tries the Irish whip. Jeff Button's in the corner, and Papadon charges in, and he's going to meet Jeff Button there right in the corner, and he's going to knock out the official. Tornado DDT. Their senior official, James Hunter. 1, 2, and 2.5. Johnny on the spot is James Hunter. But unfortunately for King Shane, Papadon kicks out at just the nick of time. As both of these men trying to crawl back to a vertical base, the AML Championship hanging in the balance here in High Point, North Carolina. As the Southside Rec Center is on the edge of their seats, clamoring for a King Shane title win. Williams measuring up Papadon. He's going to charge in. Oh! And King Shane with a spear, but unfortunately, he's going to take out James Hunter as well. So Jeff Button, the official assigned to this contest, he's taken out by Papadon with a corner charge. And now King Shane with an inadvertent spear has just taken out James Hunter. And the belt shot from Papadon. He lays out Shane Williams. He cold cocks him with that AML Championship. He's got the cover. Hooks the inside leg. Jeff Button. 1, 2. Oh! And King Shane kicks out. Unbelievable. King Shane Williams has just kicked out of another pinfall attempt by the AML champion. There are bodies lying everywhere. And Papadon, he puts Shane in position. He's going for pile driver time of his own. And there's the high elevation with the big back body drop. You can't pile drive Shane Williams. Ducks underneath the right hand. Runs him into the ropes. Looks like he was going for the O'Connor roll. Papadon's going to put on the brakes. Oh! And it looks like Papadon made some sort of inadvertent contact yet again with Jeff Button. Or so it appeared to be inadvertent. But simultaneously, it looks like the mule kick right between the knees of Shane Williams. Wait, there's Queen Taylor. Tries to exact some revenge from earlier, and she's going to trip up Papadon. Papadon just got taken off the top rope as Queen Taylor is going to help her king. Williams puts him in position. It's pile driver time right in the center of the ring. He snaps it off, hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3. We got a new champion. Jubilation in High Point, North Carolina, as the nearly 1-year journey of King Shane Williams has been fulfilled, and the king is now sitting atop his throne next to his queen as the AML champion. What a moment for King Shane Williams. This crowd on their feet, showing support from the king, and now Tim Blaze is standing by with words from the brand new AML champion.
King Shane, from the tough fought victory over a really great champion. How do you want to address your court at this time?
The last time I was here at High Point, North Carolina, I said I was going to win that title right there. And you, Queen Taylor, thank you. This man right here stuck by me through thick and thin. Hell, we even moved from Knoxville, Tennessee to Mount Holly, North Carolina, just to get an opportunity to win that title right there. But I'll say something that a smart man, first day in the wrestling business, when he wanted to say something important, he'd say, listen up. I'll say this, last time in High Point, North Carolina, we were beginning a crusade when I won that title right there. Tonight, we begin the crusade. We're going to march from High Point, North Carolina, all the way up to Stamford, Connecticut. Oops, my video guys. To Stamford, Connecticut, and tell them, oh my gosh, we are sick and tired of sports entertainment. We are sick and tired of you telling us what professional wrestling is. Because right here in North Carolina, the wrestling capital of the world, we are going to show the world what professional wrestling truly is. Because when it's all said and done, me, the Queen, and each and every one of you will rule the wrestling world.
And you hear it from King Shane, along with his Queen Taylor. They will rule the wrestling world, specifically in the Mid-Atlantic region, as now he holds the richest prize in the Mid-Atlantic, your brand new AML champion, King Shane Williams. After months and months of trying to capture that championship, being derailed by the likes of Vordell Walker, having disruptions in his way nearly the entire time, he finally fulfills his destiny and knocks off the Greek god Papadon in their big rematch, and King Shane Williams is now the third ever AML champion. So on behalf of America's Most Like Wrestling, I'm Blake Chadwick. Thank you for joining us for this special AML Championship match live from High Point, North Carolina. What a night for King Shane Williams.